Be sure to tune in to Bearcat Update this week, the 2015-2016 KNWT Show of the Year with your host of the year, Tim Hanna. 6 o'clock Monday through Thursday on KNWT Channel 8 as we talk Bearcat Volleyball, Bearcat Soccer, and of course Bearcat Football, along with some high school football in the Spoofhounds. You're not going to want to miss this one. Hello there, and welcome to Bearcat Update. I'm your host, Tim Hanna, and I'm going to take you on a wonderful sports adventure the rest of this year. We have lots of action for you today. Spoofhound football, we have women's volleyball at Northwest, we have women's soccer at Northwest, and of course, Bearcat football, because why wouldn't you have the best team in the nation on the sports show? And that's where we're going to start today, though. The biggest story from Northwest football is Harold Brantley coming here from Mizzou, the transfer, the 2014 SEC honorable mention, and a former freshman of the year in the SEC. A big move. He was not in action this week as we turn to the highlights now, but the team didn't really need him as they played host to the UNK Lopers, coached by a former quarterback of the Bearcats, Josh Lamberson. Let's take a look at the action here as the Bearcats get underway from Bearcat Stadium.
Third down and long early in the first drive for UNK. And they'd have Luke Quinn leak out as the Bearcats would bring the house, and he'd be wide open up the middle for a 72-yard touchdown pass from Steve Worthing to have them go up 7-0 on the Bearcats. A real shocker there in the first quarter, but the Bearcats would answer with a field goal on the next drive, and then from there their defense would dominate UNK with Jared Bishop here getting an interception, and he's going to take this one 60 yards to the house, giving the Bearcats a 24-7 lead, and they would just build on that as they'd score 3 touchdowns in the final 2 minutes of the second quarter to give them a 38-7 lead. And on this play, the first drive of the third quarter, Sean Bain gets a 75-yard pass from quarterback Kyle Zimmerman. This drive took 2 plays, and they went 75 yards to the end zone, giving them an extended lead here, and they would end the game winning 52-14 over the UNK Lopers. Kyle Zimmerman would have a great game, throwing for 277 yards and a career-high 4 touchdowns for the senior quarterback.
And the Bearcats would go on to win 52-14 over the Nebraska Kearney Lopers this weekend. We now turn to more football, this time high school, as the Maryville Spoofhounds would travel to Cameron. Let's take a look at those highlights.
Spoofhounds would come into this one undefeated, and they would not be stopped by the Dragons in this one. The very first play from scrimmage, Elijah Green would take this one 51 yards for the touchdown. It only took them 18 seconds to get on the board. They'd go for 2, giving them an 8-0 lead. Here on the second drive, a 45-yard touchdown pass from senior quarterback Trey Oglesby to Eli Dowis, giving them the 16-0 lead. And they would not look back offensively, rolling all over the Cameron Dragons. The Spoofhounds would go for 421 yards offensively. 330 of those would be on the ground. Oglesby only would throw the ball 5 times, but he wasn't in the game very long as he'd pass for 88 yards, as most of the starters were able to sit in the second quarter, and a lot of young guys were able to get into this one as the game would end 92-8.
And with that game, the Spoofhounds would break a school record for the most points scored in a football game, an impressive showing from the undefeated Spoofhounds. We're going to go to break real quick. When we return, we'll have Bearcat Volleyball here on Bearcat Update, KNWT Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update with me, Tim Hanna, here on KNWT Channel 8. We're going to turn now to women's volleyball as the Bearcats are having a very successful season. They started off 11-0 this past weekend. They traveled down to UCM for a tournament where they played South Arkansas and Henderson State University, where they won both of those matches, improving to 11-0. That's the third best start the Bearcats have ever had, as in 1980 was the last time they won more, where they won 23, and then 1984 they won 15 straight. So hopefully these Bearcats can improve to that and keep winning, as they are undefeated, as I said, right now, 11-0. Cliff Scott able to catch up with two seniors on the team, Miranda Foster and Jackie Becker, for an interview to talk about the season and the upcoming matchups later in the year. Let's take a look at that from Cliff.
The Northwest volleyball team captured a pair of victories Saturday morning as they took on Oklahoma Baptist. We caught up with seniors Miranda Foster and Jackie Becker to discuss the success of the team this season.
I think our team has performed really well. It's our first time being 8-0 in, I don't know, since like 1980 something. And while the statistics already show that we've done a lot better since seasons past, I think our energy and how we play together is also exhibited on the court. So I'd say it's an amazing start for us.
It's really tough. We have a lot of nationally ranked teams in our conference, so it'll be a good challenge for us coming up this year to see, how far we've come since my freshman year, but also to see how strong we are as a team and how strong our chemistry is.
Jackie Becker explains how tough it is to compete in this conference. She also has words of advice for future recruits.
I would say come in with an open mind and a positive attitude. Amy and Elena, they're young, so they understand us, but they also they have a lot of good things that they teach us, not just as a player, but as a person outside of volleyball as well. We have a strong group of girls who make you feel like family and make you feel very welcome here as a Bearcat.
The Bearcats are seeking a perfect 9-0 record as they travel to take on Arkansas Tech this Friday. Reporting for Bearcat Update, I'm Cliff Scott.
Thanks, Cliff. Now we're going to take a short break. When we return, I sit down with senior soccer player Jessi Breyfogle for the Lady Bearcat soccer team to talk about their early season as they sit 2-3 so far. They just came off 2 road games, and we'll take a look at some highlights after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching Bearcat Update here on Channel 8. Welcome back to Bearcat Update. We now turn to women's soccer as Brett Peters, our producer, was out at Missouri Western as the Bearcats played the Missouri Western Griffins in a match on Friday. Let's take a look at those highlights. When we come back, we're going to have an interview with senior soccer player Jessi Breyfogle. But first, the highlights.
The Lady Bearcats would travel down Highway 71 to Missouri Western to take on the Griffins in an MIAA matchup. Early in the second quarter, Sarah Blackley would take a free kick from 30 yards out, and it would find the back post as it would trickle in for the goal, giving the Griffins a 1-0 lead. Here in the 74th minute, Jessica Spradley takes a corner headed by freshman Rachel Rossick. A huge play there by Paige LaBeatty, the goalkeeper for the Griffins, as she was able to dive on top of it as Rossick jumped above her defender to get her head on that ball. Here a corner kick for the Griffins here. Great defensive play. A lot of fans in the stands today. Got some animals on hand. It was a beautiful weather day here. A late effort by the Bearcats in the 86th minute as Izzy Romano would take a free kick and Ashley Cole would attempt to get it in, but it'd be deflected out of bounds, and the Bearcats would fall 1-0.
We have a very special interview today. Close personal friend, Jessi Breyfogle. Jessi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Pleasure to have you on the show. You guys just got back from playing UCM on Sunday. You guys unfortunately fell 1-0. Kind of talk real quick about that game before we move on into maybe a little bit about yourself and about the team. So kind of talk me through, what happened today in the game.
Today was really, really fast-paced. We did really well keeping up with them and keeping it at our feet and on the ground. They have a very nice grass field, and it was very quick on the ball, really similar to turf.
Now, they are the number 3 team in the nation, but you guys really, as you said, are in the nation or is it in conference? We talked.
Third in the nation, and they're ranked first in our conference.
First in the conference. So, staying with a team like that, and I know we talked before the show that you really thought that you guys stayed with them well and honestly could have beaten them if you could have just finished some chances. I know soccer goes that way a lot.
The first half, we had 5 shots, and they had 5 shots. Just one of theirs had gone in, so we were keeping at pace with them really well.
All right, now let's focus maybe a little bit more on you and the team. Tell us about you. Where are you from? Where'd you go to high school? And kind of how did you come to Northwest? Why did you choose Northwest?
I'm from Kearney, Missouri. I chose Northwest. I walked on my freshman year. I chose it because it was close by, and I talked to our coach previously. I was super excited to get a chance to walk on with them, and I've loved the school. Great. When I came on campus, it was just so beautiful. I couldn't resist. So.
Now with the team, real quick, last question. We're running out of time here, I know, but you guys got a lot of new people. You said 11 new players. What's that like for the dynamic of this team?
We were really nervous because it's 11 new players. It's a whole team, but they've really, really morphed into the team really well. 2 are transfers, so they're older, but it seems like they're all the same age as us. We've really bonded with them and have a great time.
Well, it looks like you guys are going to have an exciting season. Sitting at 2-3 right now. When's the next matchup for you guys?
Friday.
Friday against?
Against Lindenwood.
Is that here at home or you guys are traveling?
Nope, it's here.
All right, so yeah, you hear that, guys. Be sure to come out and check out the girls' soccer team as they host Lindenwood right here at Northwest. Now that's going to do it for today for Bearcat Update. Thank you for tuning in with me, Tim Hanna, and be sure to catch the show Monday through Thursday at 6 o'clock here on KNWT Channel 8. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Bearcat Update _8 and on Facebook at Bearcat Update. Signing off for the rest of the staff here, I'm Tim Hanna.